Listen, buckle up and double tap that notification because the industry just witnessed a moment so chaotic, so spiteful, and so beautifully scripted. I'm certain the elite Hollywood showrunners are scripting reality now. Did Michael B. Jordan really just snag the world's first dual Academy Award and ultimate petty prize in one single evening? While the general public was blinded by that golden figure, Michael was staring down the lens and allegedly straight through the spirit of one Lori Harvey. Was that a typical acceptance or a 100-second clinic on how to professionally humiliate your former flame on a worldwide platform? I am describing a historic retaliation so freezing it would turn the tropics into ice. Now, I see your confusion. It is just a trophy. He is just thrilled. Oh, you naive little things. You obviously missed the toxic chatter spilling out of those exclusive after-parties. We are discussing exposed messages, a frantic Lori Harvey reportedly spiraling in a London apartment, and Damson currently being searched as the guy who simply is not Michael B. Jordan. Did Lori actually claim to Michael's face that he would never touch that golden icon? Did the Harvey Circle truly attempt to wreck this milestone with a 2026 hit piece that failed so miserably it scorched Steve's pride? Brace yourselves because we are unmasking the Marjorie Joyce Protocol 2.0, the fraudulent infidelity plots, and the specific second Michael B. Jordan grasped that the finest way to exit is to succeed so massively your ex is forced to observe in 4K from the bleachers. Is the Lori Harvey It Girl dynasty finished? And did Michael just confirm that his negative aura was actually just her presence? We have the documentation, the hidden whistleblowers from the Harvey squad, and the drama is overflowing. Stay focused. You absolutely cannot skip the chaos that erupted at the governor's ball. The authentic saga of the war between Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey starts this second. A story that stayed hidden for ages until that one dramatic Oscar evening tore the facade away. When discussing Hollywood elite pairs, Michael and Lori previously occupied the very highest slot. But the quietness after their divorce was purely the prelude to a colossal hurricane. Michael consistently kept his composure and never retreated. But Lori's history has constantly pressured the public to raise very awkward doubts. When you plunge into the heart of this mess, you see it was never a normal split. It was a totally engineered scheme managed by Lori's team to wreck Michael's profession and incinerate his name. Michael was always viewed as a direct, diligent professional. But the second the split landed, whispers suddenly started circulating, depicting him as the antagonist. Stories were marketed alleging Michael had cheated on Lori or that he only pursued a very narrow demographic of women. But all this was calculatedly dropped exactly when Michael was gearing up for the absolute greatest movie of his life. Lori Harvey is notorious for only surfacing beside individuals who command massive social status, pivoting the instant she believes she can no longer drain utility from a lover. Yet, in Michael's situation, she committed a ruinous blunder. She completely misjudged Michael's trajectory. My whistleblowers disclosed that mere hours before the formal breakup, there was a violent clash where Lori allegedly shouted at Michael's face that regardless of his grind, he would never touch the rank of Hollywood's genuine icons. She mocked him, claiming his ceiling was merely popcorn action flicks and that he would never be an Academy Award-winning performer. Those insults stung, and it was on that specific day that Michael vowed he wouldn't answer with speech, but with undeniable dominance. Across the way, Lori instantly jumped to Damson Idris because at that moment Damson's fame was peaking and Lori figured he was a safer gamble than Michael. But the web never overlooks and it absolutely never pardons. When the bulletin of Michael's Oscar triumph landed, social platforms hit a total breaking point because everybody craved to witness Lori's response. In his acceptance address, Michael didn't utter Lori's name even once, yet every single syllable he breathed was a dagger to the heart of those who had questioned him. Posing on that platform, honoring the titans who paved the way, he was proving precisely which echelon he now inhabits. An echelon that Lori and her whole household can never aspire to join. The most jarring element of this mess is how Lori's folks, Steve and Marjorie Harvey, poured gasoline on the flames. Steve Harvey, who previously acted as Michael's loudest supporter, abruptly began uploading content that was blatantly intended at mocking him. He insisted his girl took the correct path and that while errors occur in life, they had ultimately been fixed. These slights must have been agonizing for Michael. Still, he never released a solitary public rebuttal. He stayed a figure of concentration, injecting everything into his masterpiece Sinners. By grabbing Best Actor for that character, he confirmed he is the reigning king of Hollywood. Snitches claim that throughout the after-parties, Michael flashed gestures that were blatant, hushed ridicule of Lori. He rejoiced with his circle as if a heavy burden had been stripped from his back. His choice to stroll the crimson carpet with his mother, Donna Jordan, was a deafening signal. He doesn't require a plastic partner who is only present for the spotlight and the checks. After the victory, hysteria has allegedly gripped Laurie's team because they never anticipated him to reach this tier of status so fast. Claims indicate Laurie actually mailed a secret praise text that Michael merely left on read. Visualize the pride damage for a female who views herself as the peak IT girl to be ghosted by the male she previously branded as a flop. Squad, this saga continues because the actual tea about what was occurring backstage is finally surfacing. Matters are allegedly crashing between Laurie and Damson Idris because following that Oscar victory, Laurie's energy has shifted violently. Fans are theorizing that she is currently hunting for a reason to ditch Damson to secure someone who finally equals Michael's fresh rank. But would Michael ever accept her again? Or has he progressed so far past her that she isn't even a ghost in his rearview? Michael's revenge isn't merely the gold. It is the aura he radiated on Oscar evening. He proved that when you are on the correct track, the stars align to support you, while those attempting to drag you down ultimately lose their grip. This win belongs to everybody who was ever informed by a lover that they weren't elite enough. Michael stood for all of them. Regarding Laurie, her collapse started the second she failed to value the treasure she possessed in Michael. Now, the digital world trolls her at every corner about precisely what she threw away. Every single thread and every post mentions that while Michael is an Academy winner, Laurie is still just stuck with Instagram uploads. This was a battle Michael conquered without uttering a solitary word, leaving Laurie with zero cover while the public mocks. If she assumed she could rescue herself by demonizing Michael, she obviously didn't anticipate that 2026 would become her final reality check. As we transition to the next chapter, I am going to expose the exact leaks emerging from Michael's tight circle concerning Laurie's real personality and the plotting her kin performed behind locked doors. This probe is about to get way darker because the facts arriving now will leave you stunned. Michael didn't just snag an Oscar, he hijacked the liberty he surrendered in that poisonous atmosphere. We will witness how Damson Idris manages this since his path now appears eclipsed by a giant he cannot rival. Currently, the glare belongs solely to Michael B. Jordan, and his teasing stillness is the loudest story on Earth, confirming that a split can truly be the peak propellant for an Academy Award. The plot takes a far grittier twist when we inspect the precise forensic data concerning the purported smear plot managed by the Harvey inner circle. While Michael B. Jordan was silently honing his talent for sinners, the Harvey squad was reportedly functioning like a cutthroat PR machine dedicated to total character destruction. Shadowy sources near Michael's directorial sets have just exposed data hinting that during the peak of the split, specific tabloid-ready leaks were being piped straight from people linked to Marjorie Harvey's elite clique. The mission was basic. Guarantee that Michael B. Jordan appeared toxic to the luxury fashion and A-list cinema industries. They aimed to snatch his perfect partner image and substitute it with a messy story of cheating and cultural drift. The depth of these fraudulent forensic files is insane. We are discussing purported leak spotting of Michael at elite lounges with various females. Tales that were calculatedly released every time Michael had a massive media moment. It is the textbook Marjorie Joyce protocol in full swing. A protective legal and social wall constructed to guard the daughter's image at the cost of the male exiting the group. According to biz whistleblowers, the Harvey clan was purportedly fixated on the fear that Michael would eventually eclipse the family name, and they refused to allow it. They required him to stay the compliant, silent lover, not the Academy-winning titan he was becoming. When he declined to inhabit that box, the total destruction strategy was triggered. But let's inspect the frantic spending and the flex of influence that Laurie and Damson Idris attempted to utilize to mask the Michael B. Jordan-sized void in their world. During 2024 and 2025, Laurie was spotted flying around the planet, performing what many label as theater luxury. From seven-figure boat parties to elite runway events, the story being sold was that Laurie was chilled and thriving. However, the fractures surfaced once Michael's movie began generating heavy Oscar noise. Abruptly, the uploads intensified, the ice got pricier, and the staged romance with Damson turned plastic. Fashion industry insiders alleged that Laurie's camp was desperately hunting a power duo cover with Damson to match Michael's booming solo status, but the spark was dead. It was total filter, zero heart. Public feedback back then was split, but as Michael's victory felt inevitable, the internet flipped with a grudge. We witnessed chatter from vocal yet representative snitches claiming the friction inside the Harvey mansion was at a record peak. One witness purportedly claimed, Marjorie was certain that by the time the 2026 Oscars arrived, the public would have erased Michael. She believed Damson would be the name on everyone's lips. Instead, the Globe observed as Michael climbed the throne of Hollywood kings, while Damson stayed a decent yet noticeably smaller social shadow. The social stock Laurie bet on herself crashed instantly. The ridicule Michael flashed during his Oscar triumph was no accident. It was a retort to years of being belittled by a household that believed they were the bosses of Black Hollywood status. When Michael stood there honoring his roots and the icons, he was essentially declaring that his bloodline and his gift originated from a spot far deeper than a game show job or a grid aesthetic. He was joining the gods, while Laurie was left chasing the seasonal fads. Exposed data from Oscar night hints that Laurie was actually tracking the event from a secret watch party in London, and the vibe turned Arctic the second Michael's name echoed. There are reports she bolted from the room before his speech even concluded, unable to stomach the vision of the man she allegedly called a failure standing at the summit of human success. Simultaneously, over in Los Angeles, the tabloids were already being swamped with ghost quotes from individuals posing as Laurie's besties, attempting to minimize the triumph. They were scrambling to shift the narrative back to Michael's romantic history, frantically trying to ignite fresh drama to eclipse his career peak, but it failed. The masses were finished with the antics. The corruption of influence here is found in how the Harvey squad purportedly tried to weaponize their connections with different media houses to block Michael. There are rumors that specific invites to elite galas were pulled for Michael early in the split due to demands made by powerful allies of the household. They attempted to delete him before he could reach legendary status. They ignored the reality that the Academy and the public prize raw ability over polished social media grids. The fraudulent probes they launched into Michael's private affairs have now boomeranged as the fans are currently auditing them. People are analyzing the dates, the petty uploads from Steve and Marjorie, and the suspicious timing of Laurie's fresh flings, seeing it for the reality it is, a frantic struggle to remain significant in a titan's shadow. As Michael maintains his historic streak, the fallout for Laurie's image is getting brutal. She is no longer the queen who dominates every divorce. For the primary time, she is the woman who dropped the ball on the century's biggest icon. The ridicule isn't merely originating from Michael. It is pouring from every pocket of the web. Every time she shares a fresh sponsorship or a tropical getaway, the replies are buried under "Michael possesses an Oscar." Her influence as a trendsetter is fueled by the male she pursues, but Michael confirmed that his authority is fueled by his own spirit. The probe into their collapse uncovers a vanity-driven circle within Laurie's squad that ignored Michael's actual path. They were too busy grinding for temporary internet clout to realize Michael was grinding for eternal legacy. Now, with that gold in his grip and the planet at his toes, Michael has the luxury of being spiteful. He can afford to glance back and smirk, realizing that his stillness during their hit piece was the most deafening strategy possible. The retaliation is finished and the Harvey clan is left scrambling to patch a name that was constructed on a base of cards. Cards that Michael B. Jordan just collapsed with one single golden exhale. We are currently witnessing the wreckage of what occurs when a character assassination crashes into undeniable brilliance. The tribunal of public sentiment has delivered its judgment and it is not in Laurie's favor. As we transition to the final phase of this unmasking, we will examine the possible lasting ruin to the Harvey heritage and the whispers of a colossal fiscal meltdown inside their empire as partners start to realize that being linked to toxic vibes and resentment is poison for profit. The pressure is mounting, the tea is burning, and Michael B. Jordan is merely beginning his triumph lap. Stay focused because the closing act of this 2026 saga is going to rewrite everything you believed regarding Hollywood power plays. The wreckage from Michael B. Jordan's epic victory has evolved past digital jokes and into the zone of a total corporate emergency for the Harvey name. As we progress into 2026, the results of their purported hit piece are surfacing in manners they never predicted. Elite business sources are leaking that multiple giant luxury fashion brands who previously saw Laurie as the peak icon are starting to back away. Why? Because the Michael B. Jordan impact is undeniable. Michael has evolved into a badge of status, grit, and absolute gift. While the story involving Laurie has pivoted towards spite and rigged theater, when you are a planetary brand, you crave a connection with an Academy winner, not the squad that attempted to break him. There is current chatter of a giant monetary shift inside the Harvey holdings. For decades, the household banked on their power to control the culture in Black Hollywood, but with Michael's rise, that entrance has been kicked down. Ghost witnesses from the talent booking world allege that various audits are secretly occurring concerning how specific press stories were forced during the 2024 to 2025 era. There is a surging cry for justice against the tabloids and channels that joined the character destruction of Michael. We are witnessing a likely surrender of authority. The Harvey clan, previously invincible in the world of lifestyle and romance goals, is now seeing their tips and their brand viewed with doubt. Steve Harvey's hype talks about selecting the perfect partner are being swamped with replies demanding why he permitted such a global shaming of a male who was obviously marked for legend status. The social blowback has hit a boiling point. In this probe, we have witnessed how the chilled look was a front for a frantic struggle to keep social rank. Whispers are spreading that Damson Idris is hunting for an exit, dreading that his own path, which is solid but not yet academy tier, will be permanently stained by the lesser tag. Witnesses claim Damson is exhausted from acting as the replacement in a strategy battle he never agreed to join. The friction in their romance is allegedly so extreme that they are existing in different worlds while keeping a fake bond for the lenses to prevent more public shame. This is the monetary and social disaster of the period for a household that constructed everything on optics. But the absolute worst result is the historic streak Michael is currently riding. It is not merely about the trophy. It is about the reality that he is now a monarch. Every creator, every executive, and every elite star craves to be in his light. Meanwhile, Lori is purportedly struggling to grab the same degree of elite entry she previously owned. The massive social stock she hunts has transferred to a vault where she no longer possesses a key. Michael's ridicule, that quiet, poised grin on the academy platform, was the noise of the exit slamming on a period where the Harvey clan decided who was elite and who was irrelevant. We are observing the death of a cycle. A cycle where filtered social media grids could eclipse pure gift and labor. Michael B. Jordan has officially confirmed that you can be dragged through the dirt, slandered by your ex's relatives, and hunted by a multi-platform hit piece yet still emerge supreme with a golden icon in your grip. The retaliation is finished. And the triumph is absolute. Michael didn't merely grab a trophy, he hijacked the story. He reclaimed his reputation and he achieved it all while glancing back at the Harvey squad and proving precisely what occurs when you gamble against a titan. As we conclude this forensic deep dive, the disbelief persists. How did they mess up this badly? How did Lori and her crew fail to realize Michael was the prize? The solution is found in their narcissism. They were too obsessed with the present, the snaps, the clout, the social status that they neglected to observe the eternity. Michael was constructing a dynasty while they were constructing a grid. Now the grid is choked with remorse and the dynasty is engraved in the archives. So I am questioning the viewers. Do you believe Lori Harvey can ever bounce back from this historic blunder? Or has Michael B. Jordan officially evicted her from the IT Girl Hall of Fame? And what about Steve and Marjorie? Do they owe Michael a formal apology for the trash videos and the mistake remarks? Or is their stillness now their solitary tactic to rescue what remains of their brand? The culture is whispering and they are declaring that Michael B. Jordan is the reigning heavyweight king of the comeback. Smash that like button if you lived for this unmasking of the 2026 Oscar chaos. Sound off in the replies with your heat. Is Michael being too spiteful or is this the precise energy Lori earned? Follow and enable alerts because our upcoming broadcast is going to plunge even further into the exposed messages from the Oscar gala that Lori allegedly attempted to erase. You cannot afford to miss the facts we are about to leak. Until the next one. Stay sharp and keep eyes on the crown because the monarch has landed and he is taking 0 prisoners. This is precisely why they claim dominance is the loudest sound you can ever produce. Michael B. Jordan didn't need to share a solitary petty quote or sit for a podcast to explain his perspective. He merely had to wait for the public to witness him clutching that gold while the doubters were stuck outside the circle watching him shine. The retaliation of 2026 has officially established a fresh benchmark for managing a toxic departure. You don't get bitter, you get better. But now I require the verdict from the actual jury, all of you. Is Michael B. Jordan the reigning god of petty for this? Or did Lori and her squad trigger this entire historic roasting themselves? Do you trust that Lori is genuinely rotting in a London apartment mourning the second she let a titan escape for a fad? Or is she already plotting her next play to recover that vanished social status? And let's be honest, does Damson Idris even possess a prayer now that the standard has been elevated to Academy Award levels? Post your most brutal opinions in the thread below because I am tracking every single word. If you are here for the facts and enjoy witnessing a quiet king reclaim his throne, hit that like button and follow. Do not forget to trigger that alert bell because you absolutely cannot miss our next report where we unmask the frantic panic happening inside the Harvey PR office right now. The drama is only getting spicier and we are just heating up. Stay tuned.